You don't need to sell tickets for this because it's going to sell out. It was a smash last year. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's really nice. Oh, I'm wearing a red jumper just to make it more festive.
Red jumper with a white T-shirt underneath. Yeah. Don't think it didn't go unnoticed, by the way.
Yeah,
all right.
I was wearing it yesterday, so I brought it in again. I've got a new top, so when I go to work, it doesn't look like I'm wearing yesterday's clothes, but I actually
by the way,
am.
Kids, listen to this. When I go to work, working as Elf's dad. Yeah, there are jobs like this available out there, children. Seriously, this is what you do for a living. You're Elf's dad in the musical on stage for a living.
Yeah, we're at the Dominion Theatre.
Yes, sir.
In the West End.
Yes, sir.
We're back. We're bigger. We're bolder. I mean, it is. We've got Matthew Wolfenden, who's playing Buddy this year,
Amazing.
which is why I'm donning a little bit of facial hair here to not to look like Santa, but just because I our age gap is not huge, but that's the beauty of being on stage, is the fact that it will, we transcend.
You know what you're doing.
We just, you bring the gravitas. Elf is not to do any hard selling or anything, but I'm quite often in tears, actually. You know, when you think the film Elf, brilliant, everyone absolutely loves it, it's great fun, particularly the snowball fight. We do have snow. It's the fact that it's so well written in this musical that I'm literally kind of welling up in the sides, because it's one of those things where it's not just like, oh, it's Elf, but there's something there for the.
It's got heart. It's got a massive heart.
Well, it has. I know you haven't actually seen it, and I hope that you might. Just
I know. If you can get us in, we are in. That's the only reason we invited you back.
It's going
to sell out. It's going to sell out.
I was so excited to be here last year. I was like a kid in a candy shop, and I wasn't quite able to control myself. And I thought, I won't be going back there. And then today, I think I've just managed to do it again, because in the lift, on the way up, she's already smiling through the window. I can see. I met your beautiful, gorgeous family, and of course, I recognise Eli. And I thought, oh well, you just hang out here all the time. Anyway, I go onto the lift, and they were like, oh, hi, yeah, and they were saying, yeah, we're coming to watch the show, and I was like, all right, wow. I said, so did you what is this,
competition winner?
Text in? Yeah. I just insulted your family. I met your family in the lift and went, so did you win a competition to be here? No,
they lost the competition. No, it's called life.
We're actually family. I was like, oh no, send me back down to the ground floor. Put me in the basement, actually. I don't deserve to be here. It was a great start.
ElfLondon.com for tickets. Get them now, because this time last year we weren't sure how it was going to do, because it never happened before in London. But now we know it's unbelievable, and people thought it was fantastic. Currently, there are these massive billboards, Tom. You may have seen them on the way in this morning, because you come the same way as me on the A40. Nicole Scherzinger, currently the best thing on the West End stage. Well, her days are numbered, because Elf is coming to town.
Elf is back. It is. It's glorious. I mean, I'm so lucky to be there, to be working. Again, even coming back, we've got this just amazing cast. Of course, everyone says that. You've got the songs. How do you turn such a successful film into a musical? But somehow they have the music. It's so joyous. The family, it really is. I mean, I couldn't say anything more about it apart from it really is genuinely.
But Full House after Full House last year.
Santa's favourite musical, and
people on their feet.
We're only there for 8 weeks,
right.
And it's just a real reminder in so many ways. I love it how it's tongue in cheek. It takes the mickey out of himself, saying that Christmas is all about sort of like seeing your relations and having fights with your families and having
if they've won the right
scraps
competition to get to see you,
sleeping on a futon and eating cold spaghetti for breakfast with your brother and stuff like that. I mean, it's just it's a classic. It's very funny.
And the thing, when I go and see brilliant musicals, and it's the music about the musicals that moves you, because we know that music is what feelings sound like. We know that. And it's the sort of the melancholy sometimes of the score, the strings. When the strings get going, they pull at your heartstrings, and they are like your heartstrings. In fact, they may be the heartstrings.
It's the music that helps me when you think, okay, I'm saying these words, I'm reacting to what's going on. But if you can hear the music, and there's obviously a 19-piece orchestra in the pit. I mean, it is the music, because you hear the tune, and it just puts the frequency in your head, and you just go to a place. And incidentally, actually, also slightly funny enough, Georgina Castle is playing Jovi.
Wow.
She's absolutely just a beautiful person inside and out. And she's also Andrew Castle's daughter. Now, back in 2008, when I was very fortunate to be involved in Strictly, Andrew Castle said to me on the side of the stage, he's like, yeah, my daughter's quite interested in musical theatre. I was like, all right, good for her, good for her. You know, at the time, she's only 10 or something, or even younger. And then suddenly she's playing the lead right next to me. I'm like, you're Andrew Castle's daughter. He told me years ago that you were in... And now
So
look
he
at
might
you.
be able to get tickets as well as us. He might be able to get tickets.
Look,
as well
there
as us.
are loads. Don't be afraid. And there's some great deals as well. I know that because theatre is a real treat because it carries bucks that comes with it, and you've got to get your travel and you get your food, and if you get a program. In fact, I did hear on the side, why are we coming back to the Dominion in the West End? I think because the bar bill alone last year in the theatre, with all the families coming, was a mega six-figure number, just the bar bill. Wow. We'll get Elf back because
it seems to work. People are up for a good time.
They're up for the bubbles.
Elf clearly gets them in the mood for in all the right places. elflondon.com is where you need to go. Now, clearly, there are tickets available as we speak, as was the case last year. But about a week later, you couldn't get in for Love Nor Money. You really couldn't. So it is good. It's super cool. It's off the chain. That thing you're saying about music, there's neuroscience behind that, because we've talked about it on the show. There's neuroscience behind the fact that if you play classical music whilst you're reading, you will read quicker, because there's something that gets in the way of you and the written word in your head, in everybody's head, even in the best reader's head, that music gets rid of. And so if your children have trouble reading, if you play without them knowing, just put some classical music on in the background, and it can help. It actually gets in. It's a bit of a bump in the road for dyslexia, classical music. So it's on your side for so many different reasons. But for me, it's the music. It's what it does to us whilst we're watching and listening to words and watching people move around. It's what that then does to you. It seems to really stir up or heighten your emotional receivers. And I often cry from beginning to end in a musical, whether it's sad or not. It's just this release for whatever it is. And they're not necessarily always salty tears, but there's always tears. And sometimes the happier and more joyous the musical, especially if it has a reprise at the end, I just can't stop crying. Because it's all I'm just talking about it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I cry in Stuart Little too. Hard to completely blow that out of the water. But I should probably listen to classical music all the time then, because wherever can you do it when you're just looking for directions about where to go next? Because you walk into a train station or you're kind of reading. I mean, there's so many signs. There's so much to read everywhere.
They're all trying to sell you something.
And I'm really slow at I was just trying to read some Christmas cracker jokes next door for you on your station, and they've got 10 Christmas cracker jokes to read.
Why? To be honest, we don't use.
I know. I've not heard any of my
which was the best
from
one
last year. Which one?
Today.
What did you get for nicking a calendar?
Don't know what you get for nicking a calendar.
25 days. That got me, and I thought I can't read anymore, but then I couldn't read them anyway, so because I'm not fast enough at reading. I would have definitely.
How nice is this guy?
Lovely.
He's the best, isn't he?
Yeah, lovely.
He is the best.
Oh, thank you.
Unfortunately, he's already taken, otherwise I'd be all over him like a cheap seat.
Oh, well, no.
Alex Mandel.
Always room at the end.
Elf the Musical. Hi, Chris and Tom. We've already booked our tickets for Elf the Musical. It's my husband's 59th birthday on Thursday, November 16, and we're travelling by train after our boys finish school in Peterborough. So if you book for the 16th, then look out for me and the boys and give us a shout. To the birthday boy Paul, William 14, Monty 13, Henry 11. We'll all be rocking with the whole family Christmas stocking, all the jumpers on, everything, if I can bribe Will to wear one. Hi, Chris. Going to see Elf on the 17th of November. Angie from Kings Langley. As part of my husband David's 60th birthday celebrations, we're bringing our granddaughters Olivia and Isla too, and we're so looking forward to it. Having done this before last year, and it was a smash. The reviews were off the chain, weren't they? Genuinely.
Yeah, well, yes.
Is there, and you're an absolute 100% pro, total pro, but is there a date? Do you have to be careful because you think, well, we know we can do this. We know we smash this. How is a re-rehearsal a year later compared to the original rehearsal a year earlier? I'm
so glad you asked that. It's very interesting because we all thought, great, we don't probably need to rehearse for a week. And we'll just turn up in the last week and then just go on. They've completely, because your show's so short of time. You think, oh, you've got 4 weeks, but there are so many aspects. Do you know something like 27 pieces of set? Like nearly every hanging wire available is being used because
Flies.
there's so much
Flying in,
going
flying
on.
out.
The choreography, the sequencing of, the ensemble, who that word shouldn't even be used. They're just all these bright, shining stars of people who make this thing come to life. The way the choreography and the extreme energy, commitment, and they have such a short amount of time to get it into their brains. I know that, you get very quick at it. I'm extremely slow. I'm still getting moves wrong with just like swapping folders in the office scene. But yeah, it does take a great deal of time. However, because we've come back and most of the principals, apart from lovely Matthew, who's now playing Buddy, Matthew Wolfenden from Emmerdale. Do you know he was there for 18 years and he finished on Friday and he was in rehearsals on Monday.
That's the way you do it.
He hasn't been on stage for 18 years. I mean, he's like a duck to water. He's just back in the pool. But
Yeah.
I thought, wow, maybe that's a good thing that he's just not had time to think. Because 18 years of your life on Emmerdale, and then you're suddenly... Anyway, sorry, I digress. So the director...
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Digress away, my friend.
He's had time to really make us think about exactly, what we're not just doing some fluffy sort of Christmassy experience of, candy and all that. He's really made us tune into, musicals classically. It can be a bit like Marmite. You love them or hate them, and there's a feeling of like...
So we should do that. Marmite the musical. Come on. You like the love it or hate it? Yeah,
Well, they've done Jaws, and then the shark one. You think, how can they make something out of it?
That's coming. That's happening, isn't it?
It's going again.
Jaws the musical.
Yeah.
What?
Jaws the musical.
Honestly, apparently it's very good.
How is it possible?
It's better than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
So we've. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I won't say.
No.
I said no. Sorry. Delete. Yeah. So we have revisited, and it is absolutely beautiful. I just hats off to everyone who's doing
Good.
it.
I think we're sold. Done. If you want to say goodbye to the competition winners on the way, they very much appreciate
You
it.
beautiful competition winners.
Little
Wow.
Elfie selfie, please. If you
I'll
don't
never
mind.
let that down. That's a real
Thanks,
clanger,
Tom.
that one.
You're the best man.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's
See you around the
always
hood,
a
yeah?
pleasure. Yeah, I'll be there.